Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents Yard and Broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents Yard and Broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents Yard and Broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents Yard and Broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk.
Make we talk indeed. Good afternoon, good night, whoever listening, watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean. Welcome to the edition of the Make we Talk program. This evening we're going to play a video. I know most of you may have seen this video with Dr. Alfred Dawes. And believe you me, we have to ask some questions. This country of ours is racked with corruption from east, west, north, and south. Our health sector is in crisis in this country. Our health sector is in serious crisis. Whether we want to believe it, yes or no, this country of ours, and we must speak out of what is going on in this country. Dr. Alfred Dawes came out and speak about the University of the West Indies. You realize that nobody came out and said that he's lying about anything? Because what Dr. Alfred Dawes is saying is the fact truth. For those who may not have seen that video with Dr. Alfred Dawes, we're going to play it tonight. Tonight, we're not broadcasting on my favorite TV station in the Cayman Islands, but come next week, we will do it. There's some technical difficulties that I have to sort out from my end. Then we can go back on Cayman Mall Road. And I'm going to try my endeavor best to sort it out from my end. Sandy, good afternoon, good night to you. Good night to those who are watching us beyond the shores of Jamaica. Good night to you all. There is an issue facing us. Before going further with Dr. Alfred Dawes and the University of the West Indies Hospital, there is an issue in the Jamaican diaspora when it comes on to voting. And it seems as if I would say there's a sabotage going on, but you know, a lot of people must say I must stop saying it. There is an issue facing us in the diaspora here. When you have people who put up their candidacy to vote, I put up themselves to vote, there is something that is undermining the global Jamaican diaspora voting apparatus. Because when you're going to register, if you use an email address before, it won't accept you again. You have to use a different email address. It begs to ask the question, are they stopping people from voting? You know? It begs to ask the question, are they stopping people from voting? We only can ask questions. And I hope that those people who are trying to register, because today is the final day of registration, and a lot of people have been having issues in register themselves for them to go and vote. Now I have been telling these people that I am no longer a candidate for this election. And they keep on asking me for my bio. And I send it to them how many times? There is something going on with this voting system. But you know, let me not say what I really want to say. I believe that the global Jamaican diaspora should be run by Jamaicans in the Jamaican diaspora, not by the government of Jamaica. That's another topic for another time. But people who are trying to register, and if I'm using my email that I used before, I can't get you registered on it. I have to use a different email. And that should not be. Let's go to the topic we're going to speak about. We're going to have some guests coming into us this evening. Hopefully they come on. I won't call the name until they come on. It is a body of the Jamaican government. let me talk a little bit more about the global Jamaican diaspora thing here. It is something that I love dearly. You know, I want to see what we can do to assist our Jamaican people here in the diaspora. There's a lot of Jamaicans who live in the diaspora who have nowhere to live, you know, and who are facing the pangs of hell, you know. And that is why Rattigan and myself wanted to run. Rattigan is running, but I can't run because of certain personal issues. Spoke to my wife and everything, and you know, I decided not to do it. But Mr. Rattigan is running. And people are trying to register to vote for Mr. Rattigan. But those who have used an email address before, it seems as if it won't allow you to go back in. If you use tav129 at hotmail.com before, and you try to do it all over again, tav129 email address won't go through at all. You have to use a different email address. So it seems as if they're trying to stop certain people from getting into the ballot boxes. To me, it seems that way. We're going to speak about what Dr. Alfred does. Many of you may have not seen this video here. But Dr. Dawes came out swinging. The level of nepotism and the level of corruption in the health sector in our country is worse than Riverton Dump. It's stinker than Riverton Dump. And I want you to listen to what Dr. Dawes, many of you may have heard it before, but I want you to listen to what Dr. Dawes talking about. Listen to this, please.
And over the coming days, we'll be taking you through a disturbing journey, one that exposes how the University Hospital of the West Indies, a beacon of Caribbean healthcare excellence, has been brought to its knees by mismanagement, corruption, and a fundamental betrayal of public trust.
You hear? It has brought to its knees by mismanagement, corruption, and a fundamental mismanagement system going on at the University of the West Indies. Huh? Mismanagement, corruption. You hear that? Every time you hear this word corruption under this administration, you hear corruption under this administration, something is fundamentally wrong. Listen to some what Dr. Dawes is saying.
The recent revelations in the Auditor General's report are not just numbers on a page. They represent lives affected, resources squandered, and a healthcare system pushed to the brink. Today, let's start at the beginning with the history of this great institution, its regional importance, and the crisis it now faces. To understand what we stand to lose, we first must understand what the University Hospital of the West Indies truly represents. In 1945, in the aftermath of World War II, the Committee of Higher Education in the colonies made a transformative recommendation: establish a university in the West Indies. Jamaica was chosen as a site, and critically, it was decided that the first faculty should be that of medicine, as there was a desperate shortage of medical professionals throughout the region. In October 1948, the University College of the West Indies, affiliated with the University of London, opened its doors with its first cohort of medical students. On January 18, 1953, Sir Winston Churchill himself toured the hospital. The message was clear: this was an institution of international significance, deserving of international support.
You hear that? And now Dr. Dawes is saying, and a lot of us in Jamaica is saying the same thing. The University of West Indies has brought to its knees, riddled with corruption and nepotism and cronyism.
The UHWI is not just another hospital. It is the first teaching hospital in the entire Caribbean region and an internationally recognized academic institution. It serves as the premier regional referral center, providing other Caribbean countries with an affordable option for critical services. When medical students from across the English-speaking Caribbean seek world-class training, this is where they come. Today, the hospital operates 579 beds and is classified as a Type A regional referral hospital, the highest classification. Each year, an estimated 10% of Jamaican population visits the hospital. But beyond Jamaica, UWI's impact radiates throughout the region. It graduates more than 300 healthcare workers annually at the undergraduate level and almost 40 specialists at the graduate level.
I want to stop here and say something here to you all. Good night to the lovely lady who stands for this diaspora on many occasions and continue to do so, the hard work that she's doing. Dr. Karen Dunkley. Good night to you, ma'am. I want to say something to you all tonight. The University of West Indies has turned out some very good people and well-renowned people. And I speak of two individuals in the Cayman Islands that I know of. Dr. Sidney Orville Banks a well-known doctor, came from the University of the West Indies. And Dr. Steve Anthony Tomlinson, the former owner of the Chrissy Tomlinson Memorial Hospital in the Cayman Islands, now Doctors Hospital. I am pretty much sure those two men are saying that this is not the institution I went to. This institution now is riddled with corruption and nepotism. And it's to show you that even the late Professor Regnesifert must be rolling in his grave. The latest corruption coming out of the University of the West Indies. And you hear nothing from Dr. Christopher Tufton. Not a word. This is some of Dr. Dawes is saying.
Through the Faculty of Medical Sciences, these professionals don't just serve Jamaica. They return to Barbados, Trinidad, Grenada, Belize, Guyana, and every corner of the English-speaking Caribbean to provide medical care in their home countries. This is the institution that made me, as well as my colleagues, be able to serve you. This is what we stand to lose should we continue down this road. The Ministry of Health and Wellness itself has acknowledged that cases of chronic non-communicable diseases such as diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, and kidney disease continue to burden the facility, causing chronic overcrowding and ward space problems. This isn't a new problem. As far back as 2017, reports warned that the overcrowding at the UHWI could cost the hospital its accreditation to train doctors and nurses.
So stick up in there for me now. They're spending $20-something billion on an asbestos hospital in Montego Bay, where they have no bed. Darrell Vaz spent $1.4 billion on some old dilapidated school buses. And in telling the Jamaican people and members of the Jamaican diaspora that we're bad mind, we mustn't ask them any question. You want to hear what's going on at the University of the West Indies? $1.4 billion of taxpayers' money. And I know Darrell Vaz cannot tell the Jamaican people how much did he spend on these buses. Where is the receipt? Where are the invoices for these buses, Mr. Vaz? And Jamaica's health sector is in crisis. You and your family, and Dr. Tufton and his family, can jump on a private plane and fly to Miami on the backs of the Jamaican people back, because the Jamaican people paying their insurance. And that is why members of the Jamaican diaspora is full-time on a speak out and stop this bloody nonsense about PNP and JLP. How can you all go home to retire? Retire in a health sector that is in crisis? Huh? How can members of the Jamaican diaspora decide they want to go home and retire when our health sector is in serious crisis in this country? And that is why the global Jamaican diaspora should not be run by Camilla Johnson Smith nor Alonda Turlong. We should be running it. We must decide who we put there. We only tell us, look here, we're doing this. We must answer to them. And then say, oh no. Until now, Babsy Grains can't tell the Jamaican people, the Jamaican diaspora, how much money they collect for the telethon for Hurricane Melissa. Oh no, we don't know how much money they collect. And Jamaica's health sector is in serious crisis. And they're encouraging Jamaicans to come home. Come home to what? A failing health sector? But the University of the West Indies is riddled by corruption and nepotism and cronyism. And they're forcing the people of this country, come home. Dr. Tufton is saying to the nurses, come home. When the nurses at Montego Bay Hospital protest the other day of the lack of proper facility for them to work in. They're not talking about their salary. No. They're talking about the institution is in a it is in a terrible state. It's in a terrible state. And now you hear about this riddled corruption looming and breakout at the University of the West Indies. And they are the one, whenever anything go happen, they send come on the diaspora and then beg we the damn idiots. They beg we the fools in the diaspora. And when I talk here, people say, boy, you're bringing down Jamaica. Bring down Jamaica in what? If this is not bringing down this country with the level of corruption and nepotism that is going on in the government, then I don't know what is bringing down the country. They blame us that we, the gang of 30, we are the one who bringing down the country. Alfred Rattigan and Jeffrey Tavares bringing down Jamaica. Now what Dr. Dawes is telling the people of this country, and what you hear coming out of the University of the West Indies from news media in our country, is not bringing down Jamaica. And until you hear nothing from the Minister of Health, not a word. And they're encouraging the Jamaican people living in the Jamaican diaspora, come home. When Miss Matty go home from Long Fort Lauderdale, and Mass Joe from in Washington go home. Go home to what? A healthcare sector that doesn't work for them? Where there's no bed, there's no medicine? What is going on in this country? And the members of the Jamaican diaspora are silent. Until now, we can't know how much money Darrell Vaz, Babsy Grange, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs carry home, you know. Have they tally up the subtotal to tell the people of the diaspora and the people of Jamaica how much money did they collect for the people of Jamaica during the hurricane relief telethon they have up here, our concert? We don't know. Money. It's all about money. And they catch some jackasses in this in America and in Canada, but they can ride and they ride them well. The kind of things that we don't know sense. Because every time something happens to our country, we jump up and say, yes, we will help our country. But at full time, we must start the truth. It's full-time members of the Jamaican diaspora must speak the truth and nothing but the truth of what is going on in this country. Our health sector is in crisis. Money went to Jamaica during the pandemic. They come up here and they collect money and they go in their handbag. And until now, nobody knows how much money. They know how much money now. But where the money disappeared to, they don't know. They told the members of the Jamaican diaspora that the money went to the consolidated fund. The question that we must make, I'm going back to UHWI now. People may think I'm all over the place. I'm not all over the place. I'm not all over the place. The question that the Jamaican people in the diaspora must ask the Jamaican government, this telethon money, is it going into the consolidated fund? Make it from a good source, you know. So some politicians begs with each other because money that grab up down there. Hurricane money they're going to pack it down there. Good source may get it from. That this one not talk to that the one. Because money, they're gonna feel that the one in the pocket and not gonna feel in pocket. The Jamaican diaspora, we work hard, we clean, we know what to make ends meet. We work in a snow, we work in a sun. We clean who ha 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 to make little money. We must speak out. For far too long, they continue to take us for a bunch of idiots. We must demand, where is this money? How much money you collect? Where the money going? And that is why our health sector is in crisis. Because when money is supposed to go to the health sector, it's gone somewhere else. It's gone on a market need. And you must not ask anything about it. And to show you how they have no respect for we, the Jamaican people, these politicians have no respect for the Jamaican people. When we ask questions, we can't get no answer. But you know why they don't have no respect for us? Because we in the diaspora hug them up and kiss them up too much. When they come up here, oh Lord, the minister's here, you know. Go to minister's dinner, you know. I'm not saying we must disrespect them, but we must ask them some serious questions. All we want, and that's why people not gonna like me, you know. I beg everybody feel like me either. All we want in the diaspora, many of us, some of us, is the order of old dead donkey. That's all we want. To get some recognition. I will take picture with the Prime Minister. I will take picture with the Minister here. And I have dinner with the Prime Minister, you know, on the Speaker of the House. And after a sudden, come October, Heroes Day. You hear that? Oh Lord. Jeffrey Tavares is Dr. Jeffrey Tavares, CD, LLB, CBBR, Order of Old Dead Donkey. And we go on away, oh Lord, I am Dr. Jeffrey Tavares, Order of the Nation. When our people are down there suffering. Huh? And we're not asking about our money that we work hard for in this country. And send go down there for help our black brothers and sisters down there. We're not asking for it because we are a Labour Party member, we are a PNP member. So we can't ask about it. We better wake up, you know. We better wake up and put away PNP and JLP and ask some serious questions. Our health sector is in serious crisis. And pretty soon, you know, turn to we again for beg with some more money. We go build back University of the West Indies because they don't have no machine. When they rob up the money. Listen to some more about Dr. Dawes is saying.
Resident doctors have written formally to management describing working conditions that fall below acceptable standards for a tertiary teaching hospital. They document that doctors currently lack adequate on-call rest facilities and functional beds, furniture, and even refrigerators.
You hear that? You hear that? The doctors who work at our hospitals, the University of West Indies Hospital, has no bed to sleep on. And I miss it so. And don't put Dr. Dawes as a member of the PNP, he's a medical doctor. And how is it that nobody come out and said that he's lying? If he's lying, nobody come out and say he's lying. So our doctors don't have any bed to sleep in, but we, the taxpayers of this country, pay these politicians to go rent big apartment in the sky with all kind of bed, rolling from one side to the other side with their concubines, on the base of the Jamaican people back. Huh? And the flaunt in our face. Once we too bad mind, we must ask the question, we too bad mind. The way bad mind set of people, we must ask no question. What is going on in this country? Why is the diaspora so silent? Why are members of the Jamaican diaspora so silent? Why we can't put away party politics and speak the truth and ask some questions in this country? And when they come up here, you know, we're afraid to ask questions. When they have Let's Connect meetings, they don't want to give Rattigan and Jeffrey Tavares the mic to ask the question. When the Jamaican embassy have Let's Connect and we go on it, you could have put up a hand till a week, then I call for you. For me, they hate me like I do surprise for a reason I don't know. So when I go like this, my hand did it until the next Let's Connect meeting, because then I call for me. We must ask some questions, man. If we are sending money down there, good God Almighty, what is going on with the money? Our doctors has no bed, no proper bed to sleep on. When they're doing night shift, our patients has no bed. And we in the diaspora quiet. We in the Jamaican diaspora so quiet. We says nothing about it. But when they come up here, oh Lord, I have to go to this dinner, you know. Because the Prime Minister is coming, you know, the Speaker of the House is coming. We have to have this dinner. Because we're going to take pictures with them. And when they go to some of them house, there's a picture with Buster Manty, Norman Manley, Hugh Shearer, Donald Sangster, all of them. DC Tavares and all of them. Because what? We must show that we have those people in our houses, you know. And we take pictures with them. And somehow we get order of old dead donkey because that's what we want. While our country is spiraling out of control. Our health sector is in crisis. And not a single word from any member of the Jamaican diaspora.
They state bluntly, these conditions fall below acceptable standards for a tertiary teaching hospital. In detailed internal memos, staff outline what they call long-standing infrastructural and supply challenges.
You hear that? Supply challenges. Long structure building problems in the sense of the building is deteriorating. Supply issues. Medication now come to the ward. And Dr. Tufton is there. This Prime Minister allowed this Minister of Health to preside over how many dead babies in this country. And he's still the Minister of Health. To show you that this Prime Minister and this government has no respect for the Jamaican people. Tufton can do what he want to do. Darrell Vass can do what he want to do. Because we are nothing to them. We're a bunch of kunumuno.
Defective and unused beds, over 30 of them on the medical wards alone. Severe overcrowding in the emergency department.
Hold on here. You know what I say? Defective beds, over 30 of them. Listen to someone, I'm going to rewind it here. And I mean, sister, GG, good night to you.
Internal memos, staff outline what they call long-standing infrastructural and supply challenges. Defective and unused beds, over 30 of them on the...
Defective and unused bed, over 30 of them. Dr. Tufton, why don't you do the honorable thing and hand in a resignation? That is why, you know. You see some of these people that say the most honorable, this is the most honorable, that they're not honorable. These are the things the Jamaican diaspora must talk about. You didn't talk about them having diaspora conference in Jamaica. None of these people would have gone to the Jamaican conference in a Jamaica diaspora conference. Now ask that question, you know. They're going to fucking nyam. And they think that, oh Lord, Minister, how you doing, Minister? Oh Lord, and finger food, you know. None of them is asking any question about what is going on in the country when it comes to the health sector. And yet they're calling on Jamaicans to go home. $1.4 billion Daryl Vaz used of taxpayers' money to buy some old dilapidated buses. That $1.4 billion could help buy some beds in this country for the hospitals in this country. But the Jamaican people don't think about the issues facing this country. What they think about is their party and a $5,000 here and a $5,000 here. That's what they think about. They don't think about the country and the infrastructure, what they're facing in this country. 30 beds. It is full time. It is full time. The Jamaican diaspora in Canada, in the United States, in England, stand up and talk. Put away politics and speak up for this piece of rock. Because whenever anything happens in Jamaica, who they run to we? And we're not asking any questions. We're not having this big Jamaican diaspora conference. We're not spending the money go down there. Because someone go on like on the rich. Someone up go on like on the rich. Jeffrey, behave yourself tonight. Don't go down the road there. We don't ask questions. We go down to the conference and we nyam and we drink and we laugh. How many of you say, no man, we have to go into the inner cities of this country and the countries of this country to see what is going on? We don't do it. But we come up and we chat, oh Lord, the country is doing lovely. Me not say the country not do lovely, you know. But issues facing our country, issues facing this nation. And there's an idiot from Mr. Newman platform. Don't text me. Because you don't have no head. Issues facing this country. We don't think about what is going on in this country. They are telling us to come home. Come home to what? Come home to what Dr. Dawes is describing to us? Listen to some more of this.
Medical wards alone. Severe overcrowding in the emergency department experienced by every patient and relative who visit. And this happens despite available ward spaces. The closure of the medical annex for over 17 months and recurrent shortages of basic items such as stationery. There are periodic shortages of essential medications and an inconsistent availability of blood tubes and IV fluids.
Here, good God Almighty, man. You're telling me IV fluids, dextrosaline, sodium chloride, there are shortages of that at the University of West Indies? And $26 billion is being spent. And the Coronary Hospital, all know we can't finish. And Daryl Vaz spent $1.4 billion on school buses, some old American school buses. And then go back and loan JPS, according to him, much $1 million for light. And there is no bed, there is no dextrosaline, there is no sodium chloride saline, there is no tube, no injection tubes. What is going on? And you have some people, all because of them party, they don't believe this, you know. When will we wake up in this country? The drill, yes, Miss Williams. The drill They spend much million upon one drill. When are we going to wake up in this country? When are members of the Jamaican diaspora not put away politics and speak out? When members of the Jamaican diaspora want to put away politics and speak out for this piece of rock we call home? You know where they're going in the United States? You know where they're going in the United States, Jamaicans? When are we going to wake up in this country? They keep on saying we must come home. Some of we sick. We have all kind of problem. Arthritis take we up. And all kind of arthritis. Niggeritis, arthritis, thyroiditis. And some of we have niggeritis. But yet, we sit down. When they come up here, we hug them up. We don't ask no question. We don't ask how much money have you collected so far. Look what they did to Dr. Hunter. You realize that the Gigi him can't hardly walk on now too. Look what they did to Dr. Hunter. Our country is becoming, you know what? Let us listen to some more Dr. Dawes.
Critically inadequate supplies of something as simple as betadine contribute to contaminating blood cultures and prolonged
Betadine, oh God in heaven. Betadine. A simple thing as betadine, Dr. Tufton, to help with blood culture at the lab. Dr. Christopher Tufton and the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Health must resign. They must tender their resignation.
Emissions due to inadequate antibiotic coverage. There are shortages of contrast and injector syringes in the radiology department, affecting the ability to get CAT scans.
Oh, Jesus, have his mercy. And people are saying that Dr. Dawes is making up all of this. People are saying that Dr. Dawes is still campaigning. If Dr. Dawes come out with all of this, if Dr. Alfred Dawes come out with all of this, why is it that the Ministry of Health along with the Minister of Health come out and say, Dr. Dawes, you're lying? That's what I'm asking tonight. If Dr. Alfred Dawes come out with all of this and speaking with all of this, why until now we haven't heard nothing from the Minister of Health? Now it's Permanent Secretary. Huh? Now from the government of Jamaica. We don't hear nothing from the the global Jamaican diaspora, who love to hug up these people when they come up here. Huh? We're having a big conference come sometime this year here in Jamaica. Are you people going to ask these questions? These are the questions that need to be asked. And we need answers to these. Syringe. A thing as syringe. They don't have any radiology department.
Consultants themselves have raised serious concerns about procurement priorities, writing, despite the lack of basic equipment and supplies, there seems to be a strong motivation by the hospital management to procure items that have not been requested by senior medical staff.
You hear that? I just see the money they go in. I just see the theft where they go on. That's where the money is going. But you know something? I warned this nation, you know. I warned the Prime Minister last year. And I'm going to warn him again tonight. Prime Minister Holness. Rein in your members, your ministers. Rein them in. Because some things are going when they look good. And I'm going to warn you tonight, Prime Minister Holness. Stop, let the Jamaican people eye water reach you. There's somewhere in the Bible that says, you know, the sins of the mother and father shall follow to the third and fourth generation. Stop, let Jamaican people eye water catch you now. You're going on too bad now. You people in government going on too bad now with the people of this country. Enough. Thief never like to see thief with land bag, you know. Me not call nobody no thief. But enough is enough now. The people of this country, we can have proper health care in this country, you know. And I keep on telling you people, you see some of these permanent secretaries or secretaries, them for go to prison. Some of these permanent secretaries that they have in these government buildings, if it was some other modern democracy prison, I miss them. Because I don't believe they're not doing nothing. Some of these permanent secretaries must go to prison. And if the people of our country can ask questions, then the people of the Jamaican diaspora must ask some serious questions. It cannot be that when we hear things out of Jamaica, we say a lie. All because our party is in power. When are we going to put away a party and think about this piece of rock we call home? I think as CC syringe, I think as dextrose saline, chlorium chloride. You're telling me that you can't, the government of Jamaica can't buy it for the people? They can't find it in hospitals?
Staff. They describe expensive imaging equipment purchased or leased without the requisite plans for regular maintenance.
Hear that? Now tell me something now. You ain't talking about them leasing medical equipment for the hospitals. You know how many of those people in the Ministry of Health had their friends and cronies buy equipment and taxpayers pay them all $1 million a year, $1 million a week for it? Do you know how many of these equipment owned by some of these politicians in this country? And owned by their friends and cronies, and taxpayers paying them all $1 million a week to use it? And we sit down and we says nothing to them. We sit down in this country and we say nothing. Because we believe, or we have this thing behind our back, yes, that we must get the order of the nation. Because this recognition more important to we Or to those, not to me, because I don't want, listen to me, I don't want no order of dead donkey, nor no order of jackass, nor no cow of distinction. I don't want it. I don't want it. Because you have some criminals getting these awards and some child molesters getting these awards, so I don't want it. Head boy, welcome to the program. Head boy? Oh Lord, he mute the mic. Unmute the mic, head boy.
You hear me now?
Loud and clear from Negril. Point tomorrow and
No,
point.
please unmute. You hear me now?
Yes, man, I hear you loud and clear.
Good.
Talk to me. What do you think about what is going on at the University of West Indies?
I came in at your commentary. Did you play the videos yet?
I start playing it.
Okay, continue. Let me catch up with some. No problem.
All right, here we go. Hold on there.
And note that even when equipment exists, restricted access to portable x-rays and insufficient access to C-arms in the operating suite is not being facilitated in an equitable manner. Meanwhile, they report that our work is being hampered by a lack of basic items such as air conditioning within the main operating theater, defibrillators.
Hold on there. Head boy, hold on a minute there. Now tell me something now. I don't profess to be a doctor, but I've worked with Dr. Tomlinson and Dr. Ebanks in the Cayman Islands for many years. I helped to build Chrissy Tomlinson Memorial Hospital. All right? And an operating theater must have an independent air conditioning unit from any part of the building. And you're telling me that the University of West Indies Hospital had no air conditioning in the operating room? Head boy, you're taking that. Head boy? Like head boy gone.
You are correct in saying that No, can you hear me?
Yeah, man, go ahead. I can hear you. Go ahead.
You hearing me?
Yes, I hear you. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying you're correct in saying that it could be that one has to be careful with the air conditioning unit. It should not have any other thing coming in there, because remember, in the theater room there's different bacteria and different things that's at play. So one has to be careful how you deal with theater operating rooms. But this is not anything new. This is something that's been going on for a while. So, I mean, Dr. Dawes would have only highlighted what we know. But, this is quite alarming. And now it explains why a lot of persons have gone into these theater rooms and have come back out more sick than they were before.
I am telling you.
Because there's just, you have to be careful with central cooling systems when you're dealing with hospitals. Because remember, the same cooling system is what is circulating the bacteria, so you have to be careful. So you're right about that one.
Let's play some more of Dr. Dawes.
And the provision of basic gases. They add that frequent calls by the consultants are largely being ignored. On accountability, consultants raise the alarm that UHWI is a fee-collecting entity for radiology services and pharmacy retail. Yet, no definite accounts with respect to hospital income from these activities seem to be forthcoming.
What?
Only rough estimates seem to be provided in reports by the hospital management, despite the presence of a billing office and an accounting department at the hospital. They wrote, "This raises questions regarding the financial and accounting practices of the hospital." Consultants also requested basic transparency. The consultants wish to have further information regarding what the procurement process entails. For example, Who are the persons responsible for generating the needs list that guide the procurement process? Information is required regarding whether members of staff, such as the consultants, have any say in what items are required and hence ordered. Are the procurement documents available as public records, past and present? Regarding clinic space, staff documented that there is a persistent shortage of functional clinic spaces at least 3 days per week. Several clinic cubicles are non-functional and some also lack working computers. With the recent addition of structural cardiology and stroke clinics, existing clinic space is no longer adequate to effectively accommodate patient volumes. The Department of Medicine residents stated, "We must state clearly that it is unreasonable and unsafe to expect staff to continue under these conditions for another month." These are not the words of politicians. These are the words of the people on the ground, consultants, residents, and interns, documenting in black and white how failing infrastructure and ignored complaints are putting patients and staff at risk.
Dear God in heaven. This is heart-rending. And they're telling people to come back home in head, boy. They're telling Jamaican people to come back home. Boy.
When you're hustling, you know. When you're hustling, you know what they call. You know what they call them? EFT. You know what that is for?
Tell me now.
I should say EAFT. Eat a food. Huh?
Nyama food, man. Nyama food. Just a nyam. Nyama food.
So that is the condition that we have in the hospital. And somebody today said that in Montego Bay, the rats are running up and down because the rats have replaced the doctor. Remember, we're supposed to get some nurses and doctors?
Yes.
The rats are not, the rodents are now in charge. The rodents are now in charge in Montego Bay.
But head boy, what is going to happen in this country, head boy? Let's some more of it. Go ahead.
Where we arrive at the heart of the crisis. It's not just that UHWI needs more resources, it's that the resources that have been allocated are not being used properly, transparently, or in the best interests of patients and the institution.
So that means in the thief in the money. That means the money is going somewhere else. If they don't have any proper accountability, head boy.
Yeah, because...
Go ahead. Hello? Head boy.
No, because it's a plan and design. When you breach procurement procedure, are you hearing me?
Yeah, man, I'm hearing you.
Let me see. So I'm saying when you breach procurement procedures, what typically happens is that in a situation like that, the ministry should have come in long time, because the ministry, each area, each department has its own internal audit team. So my question is, how did this audit pass?
Very good question.
How were these things allowed to happen without the internal, including UHWI? UHWI will have to answer the question.
Hold on, head boy, hold on. I think we have to call in because you're going in and out. You want to use your phone? You're going in and out, man.
No, it's not necessarily my internet alone, you know. Can you hear me much better?
Going in and out. Go ahead. No,
I know what it is. Let me go at a better position. I know what it is. It's the internet. Go ahead.
Yes. So let's listen to some more what Dr. Dawes is saying.
The Auditor General has now confirmed what staff have been saying. The performance audit found that UHWI could not produce procurement documentation for 51 contracts valued at $521 million.
51 contract. Value how much again? Hold on there for me.
521.
$521 million of taxpayers' money. This don't look good, head boy. You head boy? This don't look good.
Remember,
$1 million, making it
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
now I'm saying, remember that this is the same ministry that roughly had roughly about 1 point something trillion unaccounted for. No, they had about 600 and something million unaccounted for, because remember it would have been 1 point something trillion we couldn't, the Auditor General says unaccounted for. Yeah?
And
The bulk of it came from the Ministry of Health. You forget?
yes. And the the minister still remain the Minister of Health, head boy.
But I am telling you, Andrew Holness is afraid of Christopher. Him can't touch him. I've been
How you
saying
mean
that
can't?
to you for almost 2 years now, Jeffrey. Me say, if Andrew want war in the Labour Party, tell him to fire Christopher.
What, they have secret for him or something?
But if me see the headman a thief and me a thief, who could stop me? And I'm not saying these two gentlemen are thief, and I'm just using an analogy. Yes? So who is to stop me? If you are my boss, Jeffrey, and you're a thief, and me work beside you and me a thief, but you have a bigger boss, you can stop me from thief? Okay, I'll leave it right there.
This is somewhat what Dr. Dawes is saying.
impossible to verify whether the hospital got value for money or complied with the law. The same report exposed the misuse of the hospital's tax-exempt status to import goods for private entities, depriving the state of millions of dollars in revenue.
Now tell me something now. The management of the University of the West Indies Hospital should be fired. The permanent secretary of the Ministry of Health should be fired.
So while doctors are begging for basic supplies, functioning beds, defibrillators to save lives, and safe spaces to rest, hundreds of millions of dollars are flowing through a system that cannot even produce the paperwork to show what was bought, from whom, and why. When a hospital designed for 579 beds is admitting 120 to 150 emergency patients per day, what does that look like? It looks like patients lying on trolleys in hallways, family members standing for hours because there are no chairs, nurses trying to monitor multiple critically ill patients simultaneously because the wards are overflowing, and doctors making impossible decisions about who gets the limited ICU beds available and who they must let die. The UHWI does not exist in isolation. It's a part of the University of the West Indies, which serves 18 English-speaking countries and territories in the Caribbean. UWI is consistently ranked among the top universities in the developing world, and its medical faculties are central to training the region's healthcare workforce. When UHWI struggles, when it loses credibility to procurement scandals and governance failures, it doesn't just affect Jamaica. It affects the reputation of UWI. It affects the ability of Caribbean medical graduates to secure residency positions internationally. It affects the willingness of international partners to collaborate on research. It affects everything. When this institution is compromised by corruption and mismanagement, every country in the Caribbean suffers. You cannot restore public trust with more press releases, panel.
Hold on there for me, head boy. Head boy. What
I'm
I
here, Jeffrey.
know.
Go ahead.
Yes. Let me ask you this question. Don't other Caribbean countries, other CARICOM countries contribute to UWI?
You are correct, and particularly this UHWI, and I'll tell you why. Remember that, like in Trinidad, Trinidad is the engineering university. Barbados has always been the law university until we opened Norman Manley Law School.
Right.
But almost every person who is studying at medicine in the region comes to Jamaica. So almost all of particularly the Eastern Caribbean, so Dominica, St. Lucia, Grenada, even
Cayman
Anguilla,
Islands, everybody.
Cayman Islands and others, they send their students to UWI.
Right.
And when UWH the hospital wants equipment to purchase, the member states have a pool of funds that come so that the students who need to do specialist training and different training have access to them.
So hold on there for me now. My question tonight, head boy, is this. Why is it that other Caribbean countries, CARICOM nations are so quiet? The level
You
of
might think
corruption
that
going
they're
on in
quiet.
university, we see this. Huh?
No, Jeffrey, you might think that they're quiet, but I can tell you might think they're quiet because you're not hearing them. But
Yeah.
understand how these member states move. They don't make noise in the public.
Oh.
They will make noise with their pen.
Oh.
Huh?
Okay.
And I can you'll be hearing a release very soon. Absolutely, because they don't operate. The other member states will meet and then they will take a position as to how to respond to this. So not because you're not hearing them. This is one issue I can tell you. They're going to be unified, and I'll tell you why. Because it involves the use of their funds. Huh?
What CARICOM need to do, CARICOM members need to do, is to demand that the Prime Minister fire Dr. Tufton and fire the management of the University of West Indies Hospital.
And whilst he's in the round of firing, he could fire the entire cabinet by starting with himself. Huh?
Yes. I agree
So
with you.
just fire everybody and done.
But don't give the GG charge to him, because you give everybody order of distinction. Watch some more of this.
With obscure terms of references and ribbon cutting ceremonies. You need systemic reform. Today, we stand at a crossroads. On one path lies continued decline, an institution that slowly loses its regional accreditation, its ability to attract top faculty, its capacity to provide world-class care, an institution that becomes known not for its medical breakthroughs, but for its procurement scandals, where the brightest Caribbean minds choose to train elsewhere because they have lost faith in its future. On the other path lies renewal, but only if we demand accountability, transparency, and fundamental reform. Only if we insist that those responsible for the failures detailed in the Auditor General's report face consequences. Over the coming days, we'll dive deeper into each aspect of this crisis. In the upcoming episodes, we'll examine the HR crisis, staff complaints, controversial transfers, shortages in critical departments, and what it all means for patient care. In subsequent episodes, we'll explain exactly how procurement fraud works, who benefits, and why it is so hard to detect. We'll trace the networks of influence that have allowed this to happen. We'll provide a detailed analysis of the Auditor General's findings, and ultimately, we'll present a roadmap for saving the UHWI. I'm Dr. Alfred Dawes. Thank you for watching.
My God. Head boy, that's a mouthful.
No, it is. But there are some issues we need to look at. Why was the CEO sent unjust leave? Huh?
He should be fired.
The CEO should have been fired. The CEO, who is what, Mr. Mitchell? No, same
Yes.
name?
Yes.
He should have been fired. And I want to ask somebody I have the greatest respect for, I see
Yes.
Mr. Howard Mitchell is on that board, right? Let me tell you something, Uncle Howard. We see when I see all house a tumble down, run far from me.
I may drug in it.
Do not allow yourself to be dragged into this situation. As a man of integrity, we know you are to be. You're a man, we have always respected your views. You have always been balanced in your views. You have been somebody who has not been afraid to tell any government what you think. Yeah? So I am urging you, this situation name, drop it like a hot patty. Yeah? So run from me. Because it's gonna get more nasty than this, Because if you listen to some aspects of if you read the aspects of the report, you realize that there were no checks and balances, none.
None
And I
whatsoever.
think that when you look at the timing, everything that happened up there, lead was very close to the elections. People keep on forgetting, When you look at the 2025, let me bring up the thing here, right? Because I have a piece of the report.
Go ahead.
And when you look at it, you should stretch your memory a little bit. You remember that there was this guy, the same Mitchell, the same Mitchell, right? He's very connected to Grace Kennedy, Huh?
Oh.
Very much connected to Grace Kennedy. Now, this guy played a dual role. He was also the former Auditor General who chaired the committee recommending contracts for people.
So hold on.
And most of the procurement
So
occurred.
some conflict interest went on.
Yes, and he did not remove himself from some of these issues. So why you think the board have to tell him take a leave? And I think these are some of the things they're hiding. But there's more to come, There is more to come, right? Including they're trying to drag some PNP members in this, right? And I don't know if you have heard it been swirling around. Some have been trying to drag. Dr. Dawes defended himself, so he don't need our defense. But they have attempted to even drag another sitting MP from the PNP side in it.
Yes.
Yeah?
Gordon.
And I have seen yes, but I can respond to it. And let me respond to it and saying anybody who thinks that Dennis Gordon committed any offense by being a businessman is somebody who's wicked. Yeah? Dennis Gordon has had a company for many years, Jack Den, who has participated in government contracts in the hospitals and the airports. Now, by virtue of that, sometimes the hospital, the same Sarah, don't pay him on time, and the same UHWI. What do you think they do? It's the same people them jack them in the laundry, So if they give them a concession at UA to bring in stuff for the laundry, who is it benefiting? Is it benefiting Mr. Dennis Gordon?
No.
It's not benefiting Dennis, it is benefiting. You see the point I'm raising, Jeffrey?
Yes, I understand. Yes. Yes. It is, but head boy.
Yeah, so
do you believe in head boy? Do you believe anybody going to jail for all of this? Huh?
Obviously, some people should go to jail, but obviously somebody ought to go to jail. But let me tell you something. My immediate reaction is not who is to go to jail, My immediate reaction is who is the principal persons. So the CEO should be sacked, the board should be sacked, and the minister must be sacked.
And the
Then we
permanent
can
secretary,
start from whatever legal proceedings. Well, a permanent secretary there is not don't even permanent much as a secretary. Yeah? Because you could be no way, you could be the chief financial officer of any ministry and preside over a ministry where people just a thief left, right, and center, Jeffrey.
and you
Thieving.
don't see.
We not call it for no others word. But let me tell you something. Every permanent secretary Tufton has had has been a disgrace permanent secretary, with the exception of Elaine Foster Allen, who decided she not take no nonsense from him. Eh? And she left the ministry. Eh? Every permanent secretary, one runway, now come back. Yeah?
Yeah, man.
You remember that one there?
Him gone, but he gone for
Okay.
educational leave that dunks at Brian.
We said Duns, Tan
Yeah,
Brian.
don't stand Brian. Don't stand Brian.
Dunst and Brand. So
Yes.
when we really look at it, these guys are plundering the resources of the state in Jamaica, and they make it to be out as if they're doing good. And then when you talk now, your bad mind.
And that is why, head boy, that is why members of the Jamaican diaspora who love to arms up these politicians when they come up here, ask them some serious questions. Because what is going on, they're telling you to come back home. Come back home to a healthcare sector that is worse than
What? No, but Jeffrey, I am asking the question, right? And I'm asking the question of the Ministry of Tourism, and I'll tell you why. God forbid, that we have a major emergency in Kingston and St. Andrew, which requires that our hospitals cater to tourists. Yeah?
Yeah.
With the exception of the few private hospitals, may God have mercy on those visitors' life. Now you
Let me
see
ask
why the
you,
United States kept on. Mhm.
you, Sam Kingston, forget about Kingston. Can Cornwall Regional Hospital accept emergency at this moment? Say, for instance, saying
Well,
that there is a, God forbid, there's a big thing happen at the cruise pier. Can they accept those patients?
no, they will send them over hospital.
Oh,
I need them to understand what's happening, in the West. Why there's no urgency to fix the Cornwall Regional Hospital. The government has virtually, what would you call it now? Refer back patients to private facilities in the West. Right?
that
Now, remember that the General Secretary of the Jamaica Labour Party, Dr. Chang, is a doctor. Remember that? Remember, I'm going to give you again. Remember that Dr. Frey, who's his
yes.
son boarded the plane, the Air Canada plane, and same I take it to Cuba. Yes?
Mm.
Remember that son virtually almost walked free if pressure was not put on bear by the international community. So when you see some of them coming out and talk now, they will not say anything because in their own private practices,
Yes.
they are benefiting because these people can't go Cornwall Regional. So where think them start to go now? Everybody's going to private doctor.
Jesus.
St. James. Yeah. So it is benefiting somebody.
So, in other words, the rather that the Jamaican people die for proper healthcare, more than fix the healthcare system or try to fix the healthcare system. That's what you're trying to say to us?
But Jeffrey, what I'm trying to say, you see what's happening, your listeners see what's happening. There's only one conclusion we could come to. And looking beyond, we ask the question, who does it benefit by not having a functional Cornwall Regional Hospital? Who it benefit? It got to be somebody in government who has a friend in the West who's getting these major contracts.
This no look.
But as we look, No, but it cannot be. We cannot play with health. Health is not something you play politics with. It is not something that you ought to funnel and fondle and play like it's a little toy. Yeah? Health is a very serious situation and a serious ministry.
Yes.
Anyway, brother, as you do the wrap up, because I'm going to run out of here.
Yes. I gotta run out of here too because I haven't slept
No,
from
no, 'cause I see you looking
last
tired,
night.
so I don't. No, you
Yes.
need to get some rest.
Okay, you
I
wrap up
don't
then.
want you to turn Dr. Chang on me now. I don't want you to turn
No.
Dr. Chang on me, You see?
Our Desmond.
Him sleep. Oh Lord, don't what an image in my mind. I got to get it out of my mind. Because when you see Desmond don't know clear already, When you see Desmond asleep, it's not a good sign, My
Oh my
God.
God.
Eh?
All right,
But
then, boys. Yes.
as I wrap up on a serious note, we need to looking beyond this. We need to ask the questions: who does it benefit in not having our healthcare system function? Who does it benefit in having these labs being set up all over the place in Jamaica? Certainly, it does not benefit the Jamaican people. Certainly, it does not benefit the man who live up in Timbuktu and down in Lauderdale or over in Moko or over in Garland in St. James or up in Elderslie in St. Mary in St. Elizabeth. The reality of it is that there is a mafia that is operating within our health ministry, and it is run by a mafiosa minister. And when I say so, I don't say so in saying that the minister is involved in any crime, but the way in which that ministry is being run is only mafias could run that and just make money disappear and leak out there, and you can't find where it gone. So we have to really ask the question, and looking beyond. Is the minister culpable to some of these things? Are these persons associated with him that is getting these contracts? Is he, and we're asking questions and we're not saying these things, we're asking the question. Is the minister benefiting from any of these contracts? Does the minister have a call center that benefits from any of these contracts? Does the minister have any? In fact, one of the major issue why Minister Tufton refused to leave the Ministry of Health, because any other health minister would have uncovered. When you commit crime at the crime scene and you don't move, that is what is happening in the Ministry of Health. We have had the same players in there for a while now who they have been cleaning up their actions, and that is why some of the contracts they can't tell you who get it, because they had to hide who the benefactors of the contracts were. My friend and brother, and to your listeners, I say the word is love. Aluta continua.
Thank you very much, head boy, for coming on, my brother. Thank you so much.
No problem.
I was reading something here in the chat room that, Miss Williams said, why is it that the Jamaican people sit on their asses before they get up and speak out? I tell you, the people won't get up. And the members of the Jamaican diaspora sit down and won't say anything either. Head boy, until you hear my voice again, on the behalf of Head boy, I am Jeffrey Tavares saying so long. God bless you. And may God bless our island home, Jamaica land.
All the best, brother.
All the best. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. See you all tomorrow.
Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad of the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it now help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad of the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it now help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk. Unit.